How's it going? Welcome back to Go Long Live. I am Barry Long. The second, don't forget the two. We are live from Indio, California, live on CoachellaValley.com, live on today'scalifornia.com. We thank everybody for tuning in, everybody for liking the page, sharing the post. Like I said, we're live from Indio, California. It is hot as hell out here, even though I am wearing a sweater because it's cold. We keep it cold. I hope you all had a great weekend. I had a great weekend besides the huge zit on my face. But as they say in show business, the show must go on. But I had a great weekend. I went out and checked out Space Jam. It got a lot of good reviews. A lot of people liked it. I actually loved it. I thought LeBron James' acting was it was okay. It was there were some parts where he just was not believable, but there was a lot of good parts in that movie. Now we had some NBA action over the weekend. Had a few things happen in sports over the weekend, but the first thing we had happen was the Bucks defeated the Suns in Phoenix, 123-119, and they take a 3-2 lead in that series. It was a pretty good game. It went down to the end. Came down to that turnover by Devin Booker, the steal by Drew Holiday, which led to a Giannis Antetokounmpo beastly alley-oop, which was kind of that final dagger that put them away in the game. And my takeaways from the game, it was a great start by Phoenix. They got out to a 16-point lead after the first quarter, and then you thought, hey man, this team has probably gonna win at home because we've seen the teams in the first four games, the home team won the game, and it looked like they had the home court advantage all the way through the first quarter. But once you got to the second quarter, that's when the Bucks started to put the heat on them. And then the Bucks came out and outscored them 43-24, and they just neutralized that crowd. You saw the hype crowd just deflate like a balloon. and what they did was defense. They got defense, they got steals, they got turnovers, and they got out in transition. Giannis Antetokounmpo had a great game, 32 points, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. You had a great performance by Chris Middleton. He came in with 29 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. But the story of the game was really Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday has given you great performances on defense. Now, Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo are your best offensive threats on the Milwaukee Bucks. But Drew Holiday, his significance in this series is defensively, on the defensive end. Everybody's been talking about how bad Chris Paul's been playing in this last few games of this series. It's not because Chris Paul's just been having off games. It's because Drew Holiday has had him locked down like white on rice. Okay? Drew Holiday has not given you the offensive performances that Chris Middleton and Giannis Antetokounmpo have. However, Drew Holiday did give you a game 5 to remember. 27 points, 13 assists, and 4 rebounds. Drew Holiday playing that well on the offensive end is a plus for Mike Budenholzer and those Milwaukee Bucks. And they were down 0-2. And Milwaukee has started in other series in this playoffs. They have started out slow. They were down 0-2 to the Brooklyn Nets, came back and beat them. They were down, they were tied 1-1 to the Atlanta Hawks, came back and beat them. So just because they were down 0-2 against Phoenix, everybody was counting them out. And they have won 3 straight. And it has been a magnificent performance every single game by Giannis Antetokounmpo. But your Chris Middletons and your Drew Holidays, who typically don't play well on the road, they played well on the road in game 5. And now they are looking at they're 1 game away from winning a championship for Milwaukee. Now, on the other side, you had some good performances by your key player, Devin Booker, 40 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton does what he does, 20 points, 10 rebounds. But Chris Paul, man, he's been struggling. Chris Paul has been struggling these last few games. He did have 21 points and 11 assists, but he had key turnovers, and he's just not getting the shot volume that he should be getting. He's just not taking over like what they call him closeout Chris. And in order for them to win this series, he's going to have to play better. Now, who also is going to have to play better are the role players. The role players typically play well at home. You got Jay Crowder, you got Mikal Bridges, who have been consistently knocking down threes at home. On the road, they haven't played that well. But this is the first home game in Phoenix that they played that they were so-so. I mean, but Mikal Bridges had 13 points. You got to do better than that in order to win against this Milwaukee Bucks team and this Milwaukee Bucks defense. And Jay Crowder only had 10 points. He's got to play better. And both the Cam twins, Cam Johnson and Cameron Payne, each of them only had 6 points. So if Phoenix wants to win this series, they're gonna have to play better at home in Game 7 if they are able to get it to a Game 7. But the Bucks just look like the favorite to win this series now. And my, how quickly the tables have turned. Like I said, you are watching Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. Don't forget the 2. You can find me on social media at Twitter at Radio Barry Long. I'm on Instagram at Barry Long _2 and Facebook Barry Long II. Now, I'm going to bring in a special guest that we have, Pete Campbell. How's it going, Pete?
So my guy.
How you doing, man?
How's life?
Life is great. How was your weekend?
Nice. It's been going good. I mean, I'm still on my little weekend. I do 4 and 3, so Monday's part of my weekend. So I consider this. Yeah, it's still going. It was cool.
Did you see Space Jam?
I did. I watched it.
You went to the theater, or did you watch it on HBO Max?
HBO Max. I'm not gonna go to the theater. Yeah.
How much did they charge for?
I have ADHD, so I'm not very good sitting down for 2 hours in anything.
But no, did you like Space Jam?
We pay like $12.99 a month for it or whatever, and it was no charge for it. I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really entertaining. The visuals were amazing.
Are you Space Jam 1 or Space Jam 2 guy?
I'm Space Jam 2 because when Space Jam 1. I was like in my 20s. I didn't even see Space Jam 1. No lie. I mean, that's why what's everybody making? What's all the ruckus about the Space Jam?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little younger.
You know, when you're too cool for cartoons and like your 20s or whatever, like yeah, it was one. It's like it's era correct for you. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna date myself.
All right, so Bucks and defeated the Suns, and they take a 3-2 series lead. And we're talking about the narrative of Chris Paul. And Chris Paul, you know, he's had some ups and downs in his 16-year career in the NBA. He's not playing well right now, but he's never made it to the finals. He finally gets to the finals, and he was the good feel story of this NBA finals.
The good feel, the feel good.
Yeah, the feel good.
Yeah, he was.
They're up 2-0, and now honestly, they're down 3-2.
The reason I kind of believe sports is a little bit fixed here and there. I'm not full on board with this. Everything happens the way it happens, and I do believe they create some things. And I was like, oh, Chris Paul's going to get one, you know, mainly because Giannis went down. So I was like, oh, they're definitely. And now I don't think that anymore at all because,
So would the narrative be more so is Chris Paul going to choke, or is it this more Giannis Antetokounmpo is just now finally stepping into his own because he's making plays that are changing the outcome of the game? You
know what they're going to say. They're going to say he choked, man. People are not nice in the sports world, and he was playing better in those other games. I don't know what it is. He's dribbling into traffic. The ball's, I don't know. It's falling out of his hands. He's taking bad shots. He doesn't have his little step back in the middle. He's not hitting those floaters. So I'm not sure.
And the main reason probably is because of Drew Holiday, but also
he's giving him troubles.
He's dribbling into traffic. He's making bad plays, and that's what he typically does the best. Is not the scoring, not the passing, is protecting the basketball, and that's what he's not been doing.
Averaging 5 turnovers.
Now I wanted to go over some funny things that I caught in the game with you real quick. Now you know how they always every time Giannis Antetokounmpo is at the free throw line when he's on the road, you know how the crowd chants 1, 2 because he takes so long.
Saw the guy counting the money.
Yeah, there was this guy counting money. He was counting $100 bills after
that was
each.
So good.
It was so good. He was counting. Here he is right here. I got a picture of him.
Some people just
that is real money. That is real money, right?
Oh yeah,
that is real money. He's counting $100 bill each time.
He's counting a stack.
He's counting stacks each time. And how long do you think it took that dude to get out of the stadium?
12 seconds. I don't know.
I mean, I bet he didn't even make it to the parking garage, man. Like that's ridiculous. I'm pretty sure he got robbed. But
they thought they were gonna win. I mean, I don't know.
That
game was. I thought maybe Phoenix was gonna win in the end. They kind of came back, and then I don't know. They kind of blew it in the end there.
They definitely blew it in the end.
Did you see when?
Now this is a picture of DeAndre Ayton. This is the picture of DeAndre Ayton in the post game press conference, and My
Did you
man has
see?
on like three. Look at the chains.
What? He's like a pilgrim or something.
I don't even know if he's headed to a press conference or he's headed to a video
Wow.
shoot. He looks
Looking
ridiculous.
terrible. Yeah.
But what did you want to say about the game? Go ahead.
I forgot. So let's just move on till I forget. I mean, till I remember or
Okay.
whatever comes back. I don't want to sit here and go tip of the tongue and try to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. I got it. Right before the big alley-oop that we're going to talk about, Drew Holiday steals the ball with two hands, and it looked like a jump ball to me. You know, like you go back, you see they're both got two hands on the ball. He steals it, but they just let him dribble out. You know, and then he throws the alley-oop. Kaboom!
Yeah.
That was
This play right here.
Right before that. I don't know if you saw it, but it was kind of rubbish. Maybe they could have blew a whistle on it. I thought it was just.
I thought that the play it looked like it could have been called a foul, especially when the home team usually gets that call.
Just like like stop the game like that. I don't know. I just like how like it should have. The refs need to take control right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they let them play, and we get we get happy for that. But
it was exciting, bro. That dunk was crazy, dude. They were going so fast. He threw that thing. Oh man, Giannis again with the freakish dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and that place got quiet.
It did get quiet. All right, so we had Team USA. They defeated Team Spain.
I caught the game.
You caught the game?
The end of it, yeah. I didn't even know it was on, and I asked you what you were doing. You're like watching the game. I was like, oh, I'm not doing my job. No, but I caught the end of it, and we were playing pretty good. It was that team I saw was good. You know what I mean? They weren't.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what happened was they defeated Team Spain in the last exhibition of the tune-up, I guess the Olympic trials kind of thing, before they go to Tokyo. It was in Vegas, and there were all the exhibition games, and there were
pretty decent too.
There were a couple of good players, NBA players on that team. They had Pau Gasol, who's in his later years. Right. They also had Marc Gasol, and they had Ricky Rubio, which led the team. And Team USA looked pretty good. They had a lot of opportunities to kind of get on a run and dominate the game, but they didn't. The game just ended up being pretty close, but. The one takeaway that I had from watching the game is that we finally have somebody that can rebound the basketball. We went out and we got a guy like JaVale McGee to fill that roster spot of Kevin Love after he withdrew from Team USA, and that's exactly what we needed. Was somebody that can a 7-footer that is not afraid to do the dirty work, somebody that can protect the rim, somebody that can defend. And somebody that, will set picks, and somebody that can rebound on the offensive side and the defensive side. And that's exactly what JaVale McGee is. And when people heard JaVale McGee, it was like, oh my God, JaVale McGee. But that guy right there is probably going to be the difference in why the USA could win the gold. I'm not going to say we will win the gold. But right now, according to the books in Vegas, we are the prohibited favorite to win the gold medal. I predict that we lose and we probably get a silver medal. And why did I just feel un-American by saying that? I feel un-American by saying that. I mean, I'm sorry. You know what? I predict that we're going to win the gold. I take that back. Let me rephrase. I say we're going to win the gold. Now, speaking of the Olympics, we've had several Olympian athletes from the United States side who have tested positive for COVID. That's so 2020. That's so 2020. Come on, people, get vaccinated. Every time I hear somebody that tested positive for COVID, and I know you can test positive for COVID after you've already been vaccinated. I know how it works. I'm just saying, every time I hear somebody who's tested positive for COVID, I'm just like, oh, that's so 2020. Get vaccinated, people. I'm fully vaxxed. If you're not vaccinated, go get vaccinated. That Delta variant is spreading, and according to the CDC, it is the worst variant out there. But please go get vaccinated. But yes, several Olympians have tested positive for COVID, including Bradley Beal from Team USA in the basketball, Coco Gauff, the young tennis phenom, the female tennis phenom, she's tested positive, as well as a couple of alternates on the USA gymnastics team. So we may be seeing COVID kind of shape the way that the Olympics happen this year. It's been a weird kind of year for sports in general when we had everybody out for no fans for the NFL, no fans for the NBA. They were inside of a bubble and they couldn't even leave. And we had no fans for hockey. It was just weird. It was just a awkward time. And then slowly but surely, fans started coming back. And then they were at 25% capacity. They were at 50% capacity. And now they're at 100% capacity. And now it feels like sports is sports again. Well, we're going to take a U-turn. We're going to flip it back. And when we watch the Olympics, there are going to be empty stadiums in Tokyo. There's going to be no fans. It's going to be quiet. When they do those wonderful dismounts in the gymnastics, it's going to be quiet. And it's just going to be very, very awkward. It'll be an interesting thing to watch and see how that is shaped out. And we're going to bring back Pete Campbell. How you doing, Pete Campbell? We're live.
What's up?
We're live on today'scalifornia.com and we're live on CoachellaValley.com.
Yes, sir.
We want to thank Craig Campbell, who no relation to you. But
no, actually, no relation.
We want to thank him.
Maybe somewhere down the line, but we'll figure that out in the future. Yeah.
We want to thank him for allowing us to do this each and every
Craig.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, there were some different things that happened in the baseball community, the baseball world that were wild this weekend.
Crazy.
The first one being Alex Verdugo. He's the Red Sox outfielder. He was standing in the outfield, and he was hit by a baseball that was thrown by a fan in New York. Now that's a bad picture of him.
again with your bad pictures. Is this when he got hit in the back? Oh,
yeah, that looks like him getting it in the back.
Oh, who threw that?
He's standing in the outfield, and a fan in the sitting in the stands throws a ball, hits him in the back.
The disrespect. I mean, come on. What double disrespect. What is wrong with people?
Yeah, exactly.
That made me mad just to hear that someone had to take a ball in the back. He's out there.
Yeah,
entertaining.
And we've seen it's an entertainer. They're entertainers. And
who does that? Who does that? Did he bring the ball in? Was the ball a souvenir? Was he getting ready for the game? He's like, you know what, Verdugo tonight.
Yeah, it could have been like like the Chicago Cubs when they hit a home run and they throw it out there and they throw it back. But
that's
what
different.
Happened, we've seen this happen in.
That's different, Barry.
We've seen this happen in sports.
Yeah.
This year, particularly in the NBA, Russell Westbrook is walking off. He's
bottle
walking
of water.
Out of the game through the tunnel. Russell Westbrook gets popcorn dumped on him by a fan. We've seen Kyrie Irving walking off the floor in Boston. A fan threw a bottle of water, which was full of water, and hit him, or almost hit him.
Barry,
that fan was arrested.
Treat people the way you want to be treated. Does anybody want to get dumped on like that? And it's on camera, captured for life. I guarantee you, everybody that does that regrets it because it's recorded, and then all their people are like, "Dude, what were you thinking? Like, is that an attention-seeking thing, or what is it? I'm lonely. I don't know. I gotta go viral tonight."
Yeah,
the guy counting money, much better idea.
Much better idea.
Yeah,
but the fan from the Russell Westbrook incident, he was just banned from the stadium. The fan from he was also arrested.
Wow.
The fan from the Kyrie Irving was arrested.
Paying court fines.
And now this guy has been banned from the MLB for life. So he's not allowed to attend games at Yankee Stadium. He's not allowed to attend games at all in the MLB, no matter what part of the country he travels to. I think they handled it better than the NBA. I mean, just by kicking the guy out of a game one time. I mean, I know this is a baseball. This could actually inflict more pain, more damage. But
honestly,
Barry, they handled it right.
With the Instagram and the people trolling to get clout and the disrespect, they need to come up with rules. Like, remember the Village Idiot have to sit in the stake. I don't know what the thing's called, but they would put him in the middle of the village if he did something. He'd be there all week. You know what I mean? So like they need to start like Singapore. They'll cane you if you spit the gum on the ground or whatever. But Instagram, they need to start making laws for this because the respect in the United States, I think a lot of it's getting lost through this troll. They troll. You know what trolling is, right? It's where people say stuff just to get a rise out of you, and it's internet bullying, and people are just doing it like the guy who brought the ball to throw it at someone's back. What did Verdugo do to him ever? What, his fantasy squad? He's probably 0 for 5 the night before. And I don't know.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
You can tell that one makes me mad, man.
But this way, but you know what? But I think a lot of it is that fans
he's banned. He's banned from baseball.
He's banned. I think a lot of it is that fans have been cooped up in the house during this pandemic.
That's what it is too.
and people have just not been out in public.
They don't know how to act,
and they don't know how to act, and they damn sure don't know how to act when they attend these major league these professional games. You saw LeBron James get into an argument with a lady when in Atlanta when stadiums were just at 10-20% capacity. She's out there arguing, she's out there acting crazy because people have been cooped up and they're excited to be out.
And there's a different vibe in there too when it's not packed either. You know, you can get, you know, like it's.
And people must understand that when they go to these games, that these players they're not animals at a zoo. You know, they are.
Everyone's a person.
Everyone is a person, and they deserve to be treated with respect. And what they're doing is entertaining you. So it really angers me and pisses me off when you see professional athletes have to go through things like this. I mean, it's one thing. It's bad enough playing in front of 20,000, 50,000, 70,000 people. But when you have the threat, especially on the road, but when you have the threat of somebody throwing stuff at you, it's just ridiculous, and it's got to stop.
It's bad enough you got to watch out for the pitcher throwing 99 at you. And
there was
what was cool is the fans all pointed him out. They're like, it was this guy, and they got
and security got him out there really fast. Now you're a Padres fan, even though you have Blue Jays gear on.
I do. Hey, but they're gonna let Canada. They've been playing in Buffalo all year. Did you know that the Blue Jays have? Yeah. So I thought maybe since I could relate that to what I'm wearing, they're gonna be back in Toronto after the 30th, I think.
Yeah, and they've been playing in Syracuse, and we've seen that with the other team, the Toronto Raptors. They weren't allowed because of the lockdown in Canada. They weren't allowed to.
Right, Canada's more strict.
Yeah, so they were playing in Buffalo, and they're going to be back in Toronto, and that's a beautiful stadium. I really like the vibe in that stadium.
But who cares about the Blue Jays? Padres scored 24 runs, 24-8, and we killed one man. That game, every time I looked up, someone was hitting another ball out of the park.
Yeah, the Padres and Nationals had a series, and there was a shooting outside.
Yeah, and then the next day
there was a shooting outside of the Padres stadium, and it was a scary scene. You know, we've had massive active shootings.
It was active. They were treated as active, so people were putting down tables, and you know, it was crazy. People went down into the dugout with the players.
Yeah. So what happened?
And the announcers were at home. I was watching the Padre game, and they're calling the game from home because of COVID. They don't get to go to the game, so they're like watching the TVs like us. Like, oh, they're saying, and you could hear the PA announcer saying, "Go in, go out." Confusion. You know, it's outside the stadium, but they're going out and in. Scary situation, but you know, it's Washington D.C. and that's it's got to be one of the more crime neighborhoods right there off of the. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but you know, there's some bad neighborhoods right off of that.
Yeah.
And
so
it wasn't an active shooter, right? It turned out to be, I don't know, like a gang shooting or something. I don't know what was it.
All right. So what happened was they were in the sixth inning, and it was just they were just playing the game, and all of a sudden the
shots were
outside of the stadium, and you know your mind first shifts to, oh my God, this might be an active shooting. This might be, you know, something like what happened in Vegas or something where people are at an entertainment event, and there's an active shooter trying to get a massive, you know, a lot of casualties.
You have to treat it. You have to treat it as that, though. Honestly,
what ended up happening is it was a shooting outside of the stadium, and 3 people were injured. But the fans scurried. The players ran off the field. The fans scurried, and Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado of the San Diego Padres, what they did was they opened up the security gates and they allowed the fans to just flood into the stadium to get away from the shooting. I mean, fans didn't know if the shooting was happening inside or outside, so they flooded the stadium. And
shouts out to Machado.
A lot of fans took shelter in the dugout.
Right.
Which was really crazy. I mean, I would
never forget that.
I would love to be in a major league dugout. I've always wanted to be in a major league dugout, but I don't know if I'd want to be in one under those circumstances. Right. But it definitely was
under the bench.
Was a crazy, definitely was a crazy seeds. Was a crazy scene, man. And as you can see right there in that picture, you can just see the fear on people's faces. Yeah. You can just see the panic and how they were just running around and. Think about it. I mean, you're in the middle of a game. They're in the middle, and baseball is one of those sports where it's not really a lot of action going on constantly. The ball's not constantly moving. As long as these pitchers take between pitches. Yeah. So a lot of people are sitting there. They're bored during the game. I mean, let's just face it. I'm not bored. But if I take my family to go see a baseball game and the score is 1-1 and it's a pitcher's duel, they're not that interested.
Right.
But yeah, you're just sitting there. The game is boring. You're just hanging out, and then all of a sudden you hear
Pop, pop,
gunshots.
pop, pop, pop. Right.
Yeah, and those aren't fireworks after a home run. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So, and you don't know what direction they're coming from. There's so many people in the game. You don't know how tight security is right now at this point. So you're just basically, a lot of those people were running for their lives. And thank God that, like you said earlier, it just so happened to be outside of the stadium, Washington, D.C. We must remember, even though if you've ever been to Nationals Park, it is in a good part of town. But Washington, D.C. is one of those towns where you make a left and you're in the hood. You make a right and you're in the good. You make a left, you're in the hood. You make a right and you're in the good.
I mean, they had to change the Washington Bullets basketball
they
team.
had to change the name
because it wasn't a good look. You know what I mean?
They gave them the name the Washington Bullets for a reason. Okay. So yeah, you had this crazy incident happen, and thankfully, no one was hurt inside the stadium.
Thankfully.
It was an isolated event.
The game was actually postponed, and they finished it the next day. So
Absolutely.
I lost out on my Blake Snell fantasy points. Thanks a lot.
But yeah,
because he didn't go through 5 innings, but he's been pretty terrible this year. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong with Blake Snell. That guy, or he used to be my ace. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Okay, but Padres.
You are live. You are live on Go Along Live with Barry Long.
We're live, baby.
And we are sitting here with Pete Campbell. Now, Pete Campbell, you are a Lakers fan, as I am a Lakers fan.
Yes.
And we have had some good news come out. Now, we've been on Damian Lillard watch here on Go Along Live. I'll let you know that right now. Mm-hmm. I am an advocate for bringing Damian Lillard to LA.
That's one of my favorite players. I love watching that kid.
He's been a star up in Portland for a while, him and CJ McCollum, and they just have not been able to get past the first round of the playoffs. Seems like forever. And it's just one of those tough markets to lure free agents to, because it's up in the Pacific Northwest. It rains a lot. It's not a no tax state. It's not a major market. So it's hard to lure free agents up there. So they've been trying to build from within. It just seems like it's not working out. And now Damian Lillard, the rumors are true. He has officially requested a trade from Portland, and rumors are that he is thinking about going to the Lakers or thinking about going to the Knicks potentially. And it's going to take a little bit to get Damian Lillard.
But Spike Lee's going to be patting his pockets, I'm sure.
I mean, I really honestly don't think that the New York Knicks have enough to go out and get a Damian Lillard, because you're going to have to, if you're the Portland Trailblazers, this guy is big time. He's box office. You're going to have to go out.
Oh, he's going to change the whole team. It's like bringing in Chris Paul. Or everything's going to go through him. So your team's going to look totally different when you bring that guy in.
But if I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan,
we need that guy. Bring him on, dude. Bring him on.
If I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan, I'm not going to be happy if you trade Damian Lillard and you just get back Dennis Smith Jr. or Kevin Knox.
That's the thing. They're going to get like
an Obi Toppin,
Schroeder, and a draft pick.
Yeah, you've got to go. You got to bring back something that's worth me going to the games for if I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan. So I think that the only team that has the assets that can really get and Anthony Davis is going to be somebody like the Lakers. The Lakers have the assets. We can give them Schroeder. Would you trade Anthony Davis for Damian Lillard?
No, because they need the big three. They need those two guys, and then Lillard would be the third, and that would be championship.
So Kyle Kuzma, anybody else? So the only people
Kuzma, I don't know, get rid of. I'll take Kuzma. I'll take Lillard anytime over Kuzma. Kuzma was bad, and I don't like his game anymore. Too many.
Well, you're not gonna be able to trade. You're not gonna be able to trade Kuzma and Lillard straight up.
No, it's gonna be a big package deal.
It's gonna be a big package deal. And I'm not sure that Anthony Davis, that the Portland Trailblazers would do it without getting Anthony Davis. Now, I for one would let go of Anthony Davis. I mean, he's been a liability as far as being healthy, and we all know that your best ability in sports is your availability, and he has not been available. So
they go through that in basketball, man. People take off years, and it takes a while to come back from some of these injuries. Look at Steph Curry. First 3 or 4 years, sprained his ankle. He wasn't going to even be a player. Damian
Lillard has been there. He's been there to answer the call each and every time. So yeah, we are Go Long Live with Very Long too, and we are live right now on CoachellaValley.com and on today's California.com. Thank you to everybody who has been tuning in. Thank you to Pete Campbell.
Shouts out to you and everything you do.
Shout out to you too. Now we thank everybody for tuning in, and we will be back on Wednesday with more stories. We have some fun guests that are going to be coming up. We've got Tyler Cantu, formerly of Team 1010. He's going to be joining us, and we're going to have Cody Krupp, former sports guy over at KESQ. He'll be joining us live from Wisconsin out there in Green Bay. Because he's out there in Green Bay. There's a lot of Aaron Rodgers drama going on, and he's close to Milwaukee. So that should be exciting to be talking to him. He'll give us kind of a feel of what the city's like. It's buzzing right now. We have Game 6 tomorrow night on ABC. We'll be talking about we'll be reacting to that on Wednesday. Potentially, we might even have Cody Krupp on Wednesday if they win. A lot of stuff going on in the sports world, but thank you so much for tuning in. This is Go Long Live with Barry Long too, and I will talk on Wednesday. We'll talk next time.